Hi guys, welcome to the seventh episode of In the Spotlight, an Instagram live series where India's top elite athletes will be inspiring and motivating us. Today we have with us Arjuna Awardee, Commonwealth medalist, Olympian, Asian Games medalist, former world number one, and I can keep going on. But we have with us Apurvi Chandela. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Doing well too. Thank you. I think we can start off by talking a little bit non-shooting. I think everyone who is following your Instagram knows how much you love your travel. So why don't you tell us about what camera you use, who takes these
Okay.
pictures for you, and how do you find these amazing locations?
So I'm using a Nikon DSLR camera at the moment, and my mother takes my pictures. I guide her
Nice.
on how to take them, and I love doing my research when I'm traveling. So
Yeah.
I head on to Google. I search about the place that I'm going to, and these days you have such beautiful locations. You have Airbnbs and amazing remote areas also, which are stunningly located.
Yeah.
So I prefer staying there. I hire a car also these days when I'm out. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's how I do my travel.
What's your favorite location that you've competed at or been to?
I think Switzerland is the most beautiful.
Okay, okay. I think let's sort of get into shooting as well now. So I think shooting is a very niche sport, but how and why did you get into it?
Okay, I was always interested in sports. I
Hmm.
come from a sporting background. My mother's side family, my maternal family, they've all been basketball players, national and international, including my mother.
Yeah.
So they always wanted to catch hold of one of the children of the family, and luckily for them, they caught hold of me. And I used to play basketball when I was in school. When I was in 11th grade, I used to play basketball, and I was always interested in watching soccer and cricket. No matter what
Uh-huh.
the time was, I would be, watching World Cups and IPLs. So then, in 2008, after Abhinav Bindra won the gold at the Olympics,
Yeah.
I came to know about air rifle shooting, and that's how I started air rifle shooting.
Right. So you started in 11th grade, and you did you always do the 10-meter air rifle, or did you ever want to compete in any other events, or did you try anything out?
I tried my hand at pistol and rifle initially. The first day that I went to the range, I tried my hand at both rifle and pistol.
Hmm.
Somehow I took to rifle shooting more, and it came naturally, I think, and I started rifle shooting. But I also tried out 50 meter, which is three position in prone. I tried that out. I played a few nationals in that,
Hmm.
but it was getting a bit much for me to manage both my air rifle and 50 meters, because you have so much of equipment to travel with and all of that. So then I stuck to just air rifle shooting.
So you mentioned two types of guns here. Maybe some of our viewers don't know that much about them. Can you talk about the various types of guns and what the differences are?
So mine is in air rifle. I shoot 10 meters with that, and apart from that, there's a .22 which you shoot 50 meters with. Then there's a shotgun event. So there are a lot of, you have pistol, you have 25-meter pistol, 50-meter pistol, 10-meter pistol. So
Yeah,
yeah, there's a lot of events like that. And
right.
10-meter air rifle, that is my event. It's extremely precise. You have, like, you take a white paper and you take a pen, you just put the pen dot on it, and that's how precise the center, the bullseye is, and that's what you need to hit. So every little hairline margin that goes out, like a 10.8, a 10.7, that's how our
Yeah.
scoring is done. So yeah, it requires a lot of stability.
Yeah, exactly. I was actually just gonna ask you that in the 2019 Munich World Cup you scored 633 and you won just by zero point 0.2. So I was gonna ask you how small exactly are the differences,
Yeah.
and well, you answered that. So I was just gonna ask you what did that victory mean to you?
It meant a lot because the Munich World Cup is one of the competitions where you have the maximum level of competition.
Hmm.
Every year, you have the cutoff is really high. You have the world's best shooters just shooting exceptionally well. So when I'm going for a Munich World Cup, I know that I have to push myself and really shoot well to make it to the final, because it's extremely difficult to do that also.
Yeah.
So it meant a lot to me after winning a gold in New Delhi in 2019 and going to Munich,
Yeah.
in the same year, and winning a gold was extremely special. And in 2018, I got very close to winning that gold, but
Yeah.
I had a freak accident and I got out in fourth position. But yeah, Munich has been extremely special. Every time I go there, it's an amazing feeling, because I think that's one of my favorite ranges also. I love
Yeah.
shooting there. So, and also I think my training before that particular competition was going really well. We were in this city in Frankfurt Oder training for a couple of days, 15 days prior to the World Cup in Munich, and I had been shooting exceptionally well out there. So I took that confidence into the match that I played in Munich,
Yeah.
and yeah, it was an amazing experience.
So we're gonna get to that freak incident a little bit later, but
Yeah.
how do you sort of prepare physically and mentally? Like, first we'll sort of talk about the physical side of it, maybe. What are the most important muscle groups for shooters specifically?
So we require a lot of stability.
Hmm.
So for that, I think core strength is extremely important. Also, different forms of yoga, because yoga has so many kinds of variations that you can do,
Hmm.
and so many exercises that focus on balancing, which helps out in stability. So these are some of the exercises that are important for me, and we've been having weekly sessions online these days during the lockdown,
Yeah,
where the Indian shooting team does physical training together for about an hour, and
nice.
takes that for us. And yeah, we're all in touch that way, and we're all staying fit together.
That's nice. That's nice to hear. What about breathing? Sort of, do you control your breath when you shoot? Do you breathe before the shot, after the shot? I think many people don't know that
Yeah.
about shooting.
So since it's an individual sport, everyone has their own way of doing it, I think. But for me,
Okay.
I don't breathe out completely when I'm taking the shot. I have a little bit of breath still left, but
Hmm.
I hold it when I'm triggering, because it's important, that you don't have any kind of movement while you're triggering.
Yeah.
So that's how, yeah. And then I do a lot of belly breathing in between shots, just to
Hmm.
relax myself and regain the energy, because it does take a bit of a toll when you're, shooting one shot after the other in like a span of 1 hour 15 minutes. So yeah.
Yeah. And I think this is completely out of the box, but how heavy is your air rifle?
My particular air rifle, mine is about 5.5 kgs. So yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. So now more onto the mental side, because I think as you said, the differences are very less between winning and losing, between a great shot and a good shot. What do you do mentally to prepare yourself?
Uh, I do uh, I do meditation usually, but I also have a mental trainer who helps me out.
Hmm.
But I think I've evolved a lot over time with the kind of experiences that I've had. I think experience teaches you a lot. Whether
Yeah.
you're on a high or a low, you get to learn so much, and I think that's what's shaped my mind in a particular way now. And I think it's even evolving, as I play another match or the next match that I play. So yeah,
Hmm.
it's a whole learning process. And I think mental training is extremely, extremely important, even more important than physical sometimes, because
Yeah.
you need to be in the right frame of mind to go and perform out there under pressure.
Yeah.
You need to be calm. You need to be, if you've had some bad shot, you need to bounce back, and
Hmm.
so it's extremely important.
No, I completely agree with you. But I think also in this sort of a situation where everyone's sort of anxious to get back to training, to get back to competitions, how are you holding up in lockdown and what is your daily schedule like?
Um, had it not been for coronavirus, I'd be in Munich playing another World Cup, because on 1st of June it was supposed to start off. But apart from that, like I said, we've been having online sessions, fitness sessions. So that's being taken care of. And I have a 10-meter shooting range at home. So
Oh, nice.
whether I'm in camp, I would be training some training out here as well.
Okay.
and just doing household work, a little bit of that. And I'm trying to learn new skills. I'm doing an online course of photography to get better. And
I don't think you need to get better, but okay.
I still think there's so much more to learn, and
Of course, of course.
so yeah, I'm
Right,
doing
right.
that, and there's a lot of greenery out here. So in the mornings, I make it a point to go outside, sit in the garden, click pictures of the birds that come in. Probably I'll
Yeah.
post them. I'll post the pictures in the coming days. But yeah, I'm pretty much occupied throughout.
Right, right, right. So from what I can understand, I don't think your training schedule has been affected too much.
Yeah, not much, not much.
So how many hours of say shooting practice do you do? How much of physical, like on a
On a
usual day?
usual basis, I think I do about 2 hours in the morning and
Hmm.
about an hour and a half in the evening. That's when
Yeah.
I train specifically for shooting. Then my physical training is for 1 hour with the team, and 1 hour once they're offline. Then I do a little bit more of my own. So yeah,
Right.
it takes a total of 5-6 hours a day.
Right, right, right. And of course, I think as sports people, we also need to relax. So, what are your favorite things to do between training, other than of course your photography?
So when I'm traveling, I don't get to spend much time with my pets. So I have two
Mm,
dogs at home. I unwind
nice.
with them. I love spending time with them, and I'm making the most of this time, just to be with them. And apart from that, family time is something I enjoy a lot. So these
Yeah.
are some things. Apart from that, at night, Netflix and chill, a little bit of that, and that's about it.
Everyone's watching a lot of Netflix nowadays.
Yeah, yeah. I'm one of those.
Okay, so let's sort of get into the rapid fire now,
Okay.
as you know, obviously just answer as
Yeah.
quickly as you can, and I'm gonna
Okay.
start a little bit easy, but
Okay.
I'm not gonna let you go too easily towards the end.
I'm gonna try to be as fast as I can, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If not for shooting, what would you be doing today?
I think I'd be a sports journalist maybe.
Okay. The most memorable moment in your career?
Would be Glasgow Commonwealth where I won the gold.
Glasgow Commonwealth. Okay. That was in the year 2014.
14.
Yeah,
Yeah.
14. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, three words every athlete should always remember.
Um, Hard work, staying humble and down to earth, and just having the eagerness and the desire running. Yeah.
Okay. Um, what's your go-to workout song?
Go to workout song. Hall of Fame. I like playing that. So yeah.
Nice, nice. And is it the same before competition, or do you have a different?
Usually yes, it's the same.
Usually the same.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Your favorite cheat meal?
Uh, any dessert for my sisters,
Yeah.
bakery. So I like a Nutella cheesecake maybe. Yeah.
Yum, yum. I wish we could eat that more often.
Yeah. I swear. Yeah.
Okay. If not for India, where would you like to live?
If not for India, that's a difficult one. Um, Maybe somewhere either in Switzerland or Austria. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Right.
Okay. So nearby, nearby. Okay. A country you've not been to, but you'd love to visit. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
It's breaking the way.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Mm, yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. Um, a country that you've not been to, but you'd love to visit.
Maldives.
Maldives. Okay. That's
Yeah.
that's not too far away, luckily.
Yeah.
If there was a biopic
Yeah.
made on you, which actress would play you?
Would be me. Oh, okay. Um, Either maybe Alia or Kangna, one of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your dream celebrity date.
Mm, okay. It could be Hollywood also, right?
Anyone, anyone.
Bradley Cooper.
Okay. And your dream destination wedding?
Bali.
Bali. Okay. So now I'm gonna give you a few names, and you have to tell me what is the first thing you'll do if you wake up as one of them.
Okay, okay. Wow.
What would you do if you woke up as Alia Bhatt?
As Alia Bhatt, um, go pet my cat, Edward.
What
Yeah.
would you do if you woke up as a legend of Indian sport, Mr. Abhinav Bindra?
Go and just probably relive my match, or maybe just go watch my see my Olympic gold. At
Yeah,
just that probably something like that. Yeah.
sure. And this one's, I think, quite relatable and easy for you. But what would you do if you woke up as Saina Nehwal?
As Saina Nehwal, go on the court and probably play badminton. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So now we're gonna get back to the more serious questions. But before that, we're gonna thank everyone for being here. Whoever's been here till the halfway point. So if you could just ask them a question, and whoever answers the question first will get the giveaway.
Okay.
Any question you want.
Any question? Okay. In which year did I win my first World Cup medal? Which
Okay,
year?
guys, you heard that. In which year did she win her first ever World Cup medal? Let's see. I hope people are not going onto Google and
I
and
no, I
searching
know. I
for.
hope you don't do that.
Let's see who comes up with this. 2014, is that right?
No, that's
Nope,
not right.
nope, that's not right. We're gonna be waiting for a few more answers. 2012?
No,
Nope, that's not right. 2012 again.
no.
2014. 15.
15 is right.
2015. Okay. Oh wait, he wrote 2-1. I think that's allowed. Shubham
Yeah.
Khandelwal 5-4-3. Yeah, I think that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think it's every athlete's dream to go to the Olympic Games.
Yeah.
You were in Rio. How was that experience? Right from the Olympic Village, the opening ceremony, and of course the event, which is what you went for.
It was an amazing experience, of course. You just entering the village, looking at all the amazing players around you, the best of
Yeah,
the best in the world.
yeah.
And unfortunately, I can never, attend the opening ceremony because my match is the first one. So every
I
Olympic Games starts with my match, the women 10-meter air rifle event. So
yeah.
unfortunately, I can't do that. I just have to watch it on TV. And once the Indian contingent passes by, that's when I go back and to my room and I go off to sleep and get ready for my match. So yeah. Apart from that, it's an amazing feeling, just seeing all the buildings with the flags up.
Yeah.
Because all athletes do that, they put them up on the windows or in the balconies, and just entering the mess and seeing Michael Phelps walk by, and then there's this one, the tennis
Djokovic,
player,
yeah,
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 she's
yeah.
absolutely amazing, yeah.
What were some of the other big names that you saw there, or you bumped into at various places?
I bumped into these two. Apart from them, it was Sania Mirza,
Of
then
course, all the great
yeah, all
Indian
the great
athletes.
Indian athletes. So yeah,
Right, right, right. That must be a complete honor. But you must
yeah.
have been to the Commonwealth Games opening ceremony or the Asian Games opening
I,
ceremony.
I've been to Asian Games once in
Yeah,
2014. Yeah, I missed the Commonwealth opening ceremony at that time as well because of my match being the first. But I did go for that one, and it was an amazing feeling. I wish I could attend more, and my match was in the first, but you can't change the schedule. So yeah, I just have to watch it online, like on TV.
yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
If anyone from the organizing committee is listening, guys, please move this event.
Yeah.
We really need you
Maybe a day
to
later.
be.
Even a day later
Well,
would be fine.
yeah, for sure. And I think these are all the ups that we've spoken about, the opening ceremonies, all the big events. But as you mentioned earlier, in 2018 in the Munich World Cup, you had a freak accident.
Yeah.
Talk us through what happened and how you sort of got through it.
So my qualification score out there was really high, and I made it to the final. And
Yeah,
8 people qualify for the final. There are 8 finalists. So when the final started, I was leading, and we have elimination after 12 shots. Then on every 2 shots, someone gets eliminated.
right.
So there were top 4 people left, and I had quite a big lead. I would have ended up on the podium with any medal at least, but I was just coming down, and the trigger of the rifle is so light that I was holding the grip a bit too tight, and the shot just released. And I couldn't believe
I
it. I could see that I'm right above the target, and that happened. But it's just one of those experiences that I've learned from, and
Yeah,
I'm extremely careful. And I'm just happy that the consecutive year I could go and win that same medal.
yeah.
So that was an amazing feeling. But yeah,
I'm sure that would have been very disheartening, but how do you sort of get out of these tougher phases, and what's your sort of success mantra from that?
so usually I do a lot of self-talk, and I've had a lot of family support. So my mother usually travels with me for most of my competition. So she's my biggest support, and
Yeah,
she makes sure that she makes me talk it out, whatever I'm going through, so that I don't just keep it inside. We work upon it. I have my whole team that's taking care of me. So yeah, it's good to have a good system around you that can help you in all the lows and that you go through. So you overcome that. So yeah.
for sure, for sure. I completely agree with you, and I think talking it out is a great way to sort of get your mind off it and move
Yeah,
on to the next event.
yeah,
But I'm sure wins and losses they both teach you very different things.
yeah.
So which one has taught you more, and what has it taught you?
I think I've learned more from the losses that I've had probably,
Yeah,
but it's just that to not give up. You have it in you. If you could do it once, you can do it again. It's
yeah.
just self belief that you need to keep alive, and if you have that desire and the eagerness, you can get anywhere in life. So just to keep my spirit high, and that's about it.
Other than this belief, what sort of advice would you give young aspirational athletes? Because I'm sure many of them look up to
Yeah.
you and would love to be in your position one day.
I think hard work cannot be replaced by anything in the world. So it's
Yeah,
important to work hard, no matter how talented you are, or, how privileged or anything that you are. You need to work hard to get somewhere. So
yeah,
I think hard work is extremely important. Keep a goal in mind and
hmm,
aim for the highest. You can have short-term goals, long-term goals, but as long as you accomplish them, I think that's what. If you accomplish them in your training, also, just have attainable goals which are also challenging at the same time, and I think that experience will help you in the match a lot. So yeah, just keep at it.
So I think the right goal setting, having
Yeah.
the right mentality to work hard, all those things are
Yeah.
very important. And I think in the last couple of years, many Indian female athletes, especially, have sort of come up and into the spotlight, I can say in some sense.
Absolutely.
So where do you see Indian sport in the next 5 to 7 years?
I think we've grown tremendously in the last 2 3 years also. So
Yeah,
we're on
yeah,
a high, and in my event itself, like shooting, we the best in the world. You have most of the shooters ranked in the top 10 in the world. So
yeah,
it's changed a lot, and I think women as well as men. I think everyone's doing really well,
yeah.
and hopefully we'll have more medals at the Olympics coming up next year and later. So yeah.
For sure, for sure. I think something many sports enthusiasts also think about is how well some of the young shooters are doing. Like I remember in the 2018 Commonwealth Games, Saurabh Chaudhary and a few others were there,
Yeah, yeah.
Manu Bhaker and a few others. I think I sort of find it also a little surprising as a sports person because when I was 16 or 17, I would
Yeah,
never even imagine, competing on the senior
yeah,
level.
Yeah.
So how does that sort of work out in shooting?
Uh,
Because I've seen a lot of young people like them, but
yeah.
also athletes at 40, 45 doing really
Yeah.
well.
So I think probably what's changed is the kind of information that's available now, the kind of coaching that's available. A lot of senior players have turned into coaches. A lot of senior Indian players have turned into coaches. So that helps a lot. You have a lot of academies available now. Even when I started shooting, I used to have a tough time, dealing with what I need to do next, or how to go about shooting, because there was no coach in my city as such. So the local
Yeah,
shooters would guide me and help me out. They would come home, help me in my training, or probably play a match with me. So that's how I actually grew in the beginning, in the first few years of my shooting. So I think that kind of change has come now. There are a lot of schemes from the government also, like Halo India, and
yeah.
you have a lot of support like Olympic gold quest is there. So I think a lot of things have changed, and for the better. So hopefully we'll be seeing a lot more youngsters doing well.
For sure, for sure. I think it's very encouraging for upcoming athletes. But
Yeah.
now more on a personal and lifestyle sort of side of it. So as you mentioned earlier, your sister is a great chef, and whoever is watching this, guys, you really need to not only check out her Instagram, but also check out her food. So is that what your cheat meal is always, or how does it work?
That has to be my cheat meal, because I see so much of desserts and all in my face all the time.
Yeah,
And being an athlete, I need to also focus on my fitness most of the time, so it becomes extremely difficult. So I make
right.
sure, the day that she's made something amazing, that's when my cheat meal is going to be. That's how I plan it. So yeah, my nutritionist is always, on the go that, don't indulge in so much of sweet. And, you need to take care of,
Yeah, your body. Yeah,
being a shooter, we wear like 10-meter air rifle shooters wear these kits. You have a jacket and a trouser, so it becomes difficult to fit into them later if you eat too much, or you can't keep expanding and losing weight all the time. So yeah, you have to maintain it. So it becomes
right,
very, very
right.
difficult. Yeah.
But that's what I was just going to ask you. How do you sort of have that mental composure to sort of say this is right, this is wrong, I shouldn't be eating it? Because I'm sure she makes good
Yeah.
good dessert every day. So what is your diet typically on a training day, and how is it different on a competition day?
So I love home food also. I love my greens. I love green vegetables. So I like eating that on most days. But whenever she's made something, that's what my cheat meal is. So I make sure that whole week, I'm good and I take care of what I'm eating. I watch everything that I'm eating. But
Right.
it does become difficult at times because you're also traveling a lot. So when I'm
Yeah.
traveling, it's like you can't really take care of a lot of the things that you eat, because sometimes you only have probably um, fast food available at some places that you are in, or something like that. And when you come back home, it's like, wow, home food after so long, you just pounce on it. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's very difficult to keep a balance, but I try my best to keep fit.
Right, right, right. How does your diet change on a training day versus a competition day?
Um, so on a training day, it's usually it's not that different. I usually have my green vegetables, or I try to have some kind of a fruit, or keep it as healthy as I can, and not have any sweet, or any
Fried.
anything
Yeah.
that spikes up that energy in me, because I need to stay calm at the end of the day, because
Right,
shooting requires that kind of stability. So yeah, just eating
right,
right.
right. For sure. Um, and I asked you this a little bit earlier, but what else do you do to sort of unwind? And what would you tell younger athletes on
Yeah.
the balance of sort of working hard, but you also need time to unwind?
I think unwinding is as important as working hard, because even when I go from one competition to another, if I have some time, I usually take a break of a few days, so that I can rejuvenate, I can just refresh everything and then start again, because it's a grind, because we go through
Yeah,
a phase of training vigorously for about 15-20 days at a stretch before peaking at a match, and we have
yeah.
to temper it accordingly.
Right,
So
right, right.
that's how I do it. And I think also these days social media is such a big distraction,
Yeah.
for all the youngsters. So it's important to not keep scrolling on who's doing, how their lives are going, because it's taking away from your time and from your own present that you're living. So it's important to just keep a specific time allotted just for social media, so that once you don't do it throughout the day, you're done with that, and then head on with your work, the rest of the routine of the day. So yeah.
I I hadn't planned for this question, but I've seen it coming up a lot in the
Okay.
comments. Do you like reading and do you collect Archie's comics by any chance?
Yes,
Or
yes, I do. I don't know who's seen that, but yes, I have a huge collection of Archie comics. I have about
right,
700 of them.
700.
Yeah,
My
I've
God.
always loved reading Archies. It's such a
Right.
light read, so yeah.
Yeah.
But I also do a lot of, I read some autobiographies also.
Right.
So, and I like reading fiction, so I do reading, regularly. But yeah, I am a Archie's fan. I don't know who's noticed that, but yeah, yeah.
I think my parents are gonna be scolding me after this because I don't like to eat green vegetables. I don't like to read,
Okay.
and those are some things
Yeah.
they really want me to do.
Okay.
But yeah, so I think we've learned a lot from you today. I think a lot of young aspiring athletes have learned a lot. And before we end, I'd like to announce that Indian badminton star Parupalli Kashyap will be the next one on the live series. If
Okay.
you had the chance to ask him any question, what would you ask him?
I think I would ask him what was his most memorable win and
Mhm.
why. So yeah.
Okay, why? Okay,
Yeah.
so I'll ask him that for you. I'll also like to thank Manav, who is just commenting, for his help in sort of setting out
Yeah,
these
he's
questions.
absolutely right. You actually quite quick.
Nothing like that, but I think he's helped me a lot with the questions on this live and just sort of helped me understand shooting a lot better than I knew it before. So thank you, Manav. Of course, thank you for joining us, and thank you to all the viewers for being here today. And I'll see you guys on the next episode of In the Spotlight. Thank you.
Thank you so much.